Hey guys, thanks for clicking this video. If you're new to my channel, my name is Brittany, but you can call me Bri. And today we are going to be talking about 5 signs that may indicate that you have autism. So if you're interested in that, then stick around. Okay, so let's get to the video. I'm going to try to stop that. I do that every video. I'm trying to stop doing that, guys. But anyway, let's get into the video. Okay, so number 1 is that you may have trouble socializing. So if you find yourself in social situations and you're not sure what to say, you don't know how to keep up small talk, if you've been masking, then it's very likely that you may use scripts. And I'll give you an example. I don't know how to maintain small talk, but I've gotten better at it. But I did design in my head scripts that I would go by. So I noticed that people like to talk about the weather, or they like to talk about what you do for a living. So those were my 2 scripts because I knew that people, they want to know the weather or they want to know where you work at. And so if I get into an awkward situation and there's somebody there and I feel like, oh, am I supposed to be talking to them? Then I may say something about the weather, or I may, in order to continue the conversation and keep it going, then I would ask them what kind of work they do. And those were the scripts that I had. So you may do something similar. And if you do, that could be an indication that you are autistic. Okay. Number 2 is obsessive interest. And that was go along with my video that I posted the other day. You may have something that you are interested in, and it may not be what we call a normal amount of attention to something. So like when I said I was reading, and I was reading obsessively, like it was out of hand. So if you have an obsessive interest, and that interest may keep you from doing other important things, it could be an indication of autism. Number 3 is, let me look at my notes. You may have trouble with eye contact, and that's a very big one. For me, when I try to give eye contact, it feels inappropriate, it feels intimate, and it feels like it shouldn't be happening unless it's with somebody that I am definitely comfortable with. But if it's not within those realms of me being comfortable with someone, then I feel really uncomfortable and I look away because it makes me feel really uncomfortable. So if you find that it's hard to maintain that eye contact, then that could be an indication that you're autistic. Also, I like to say that if you've been masking, then you may have taught yourself how to maintain contact, or you may hyper focus on maintaining that contact. So if you do that, then definitely that could be an indication that you are autistic. Okay, so number 4 is if you have a routine or repeated behavior that you do, and if something happens to that routine, you have a hard time adjusting, that could be an indication that you have autism. And I knew that about autism, but one of the things I was like, when I was, going through what, am I autistic, or thinking that I was autistic, I was like, well, I don't do the routine thing. But then I started to think back, and whenever I would drive, I would always take the same route. And whenever I couldn't take that route, it would really bother me. So if there was like a road detour, or for whatever reason I could not take that route, I would think about that all day. It would upset me and almost to a meltdown. And then the other thing is that I would park in the same spot. And if I couldn't park in that spot, then I would sit in my car, and sometimes I may even be late because I just was stuck on the fact that I could not park in the same spot that I always park in. And then when I would eat lunch, I would always sit at the same table. And typically nobody would be in there. It was like a kind of secluded place where nobody wanted to sit because it was where it was no air conditioning. The bottom had air conditioning, but the top didn't. But whenever someone would actually be at that table, oh my goodness, I could barely even eat my lunch because I'm thinking they're in my seat, they're at my table, I should be sitting there. And then if they would leave before my break was over, then I would get up and go sit back at that table. So when I thought about it, I was like, yeah, I do have this thing with certain routines that I do. And if it gets messed up, then I'll have a problem with it. And the last thing is stimming, so self-stimulation. So you may do things like I talked about in my stimming video, such as biting your cheek or with your finger. This is my main stim. I do this all the time before I even notice it. Sometimes I do that and I just repeat it over and over. Sometimes I may rub my legs. Sometimes I may rock, but I tend to only rock when I'm like about to have a meltdown or something and I need to calm myself down, or pace the room, or listen to a song over and over and over. That self-stimulating behavior that could be an indication that you are autistic. So that was the last sign. Now, having all these signs together, I would say that it probably wouldn't hurt to take an autism assessment online just to see how you score. But it doesn't, if you do some of these things, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're autistic. It could be something else, such as anxiety. But I would definitely do an assessment just to see if you answer yes to more than one of these signs. So that's the end of the video. If you watched this far, thank you for watching this video. I am going to do a giveaway. We are almost at 300 subscribers, and I'm just still so shocked that my channel is growing so well. In the giveaway, it's just gonna be this shirt. It's this shirt that my husband designed for me, and it says, yes, I'm autistic. No, I'm not a child. Okay, so that's the shirt that I'm going to be giving away. So you guys make sure and help me get to 300 subscribers. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe and leave me a comment. And thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next.